Welcome to another update of how my app is doing in the App Store and how I'm making money as an indie developer. This was also the first month that I got my official Apple payment with 35 quid that are deposited into my bank account, and even though it's such a small number, I can't believe that I'm finally getting paid for building applications. Even though this is a small beginning, I know that I'm gonna get really far away, and I was so proud when I got these notifications. My name is Daniel, I'm a software engineering student and I'm personal training, and I'm trying to become a profitable indie hacker. I'm currently seated at 4 paying users, 3 of them monthly and 1 of them yearly. I have to say that the conversion rate of my application has been relatively good. I can see that the numbers are moving okay in the right direction. I do think that I need to do some work on the keywords yet, and I saw that the App Store just released a new thing about custom products that I need to take a look at. That I need to essentially rebrand how I'm posting that application on the App Store because not enough people are discovering the application. However, for paying users and the amount of downloads that I've gotten considering the amount of impressions, it's actually doing quite well. But my biggest constraint right now is people actually finding out about the application. I've been focusing on growing the application not only through ASO but also on direct DMs on Reddit. I found a subreddit called FormCheck that I think is specifically targeted to all of the people that potentially could be users. So I just been sending as many DMs as possible every day to all of the people that are posting on that subreddit. I also created the Instagram and TikTok accounts for LeafVault, and I've been posting there pretty much every other day or so. I've been trying to follow the advice of warming up the account for 15-30 minutes every day and posting a few hours later. I still don't feel that I've cracked the code of short form content, but I can tell that my content is getting a little bit more visualizations. The problem with this is that it's still not being translated into a lot of downloads, but I know that I need to go viral only once for me to see a massive difference in jumping downloads on my application, so that's pretty much what's keeping me going. I was quite uncertain on how I was tackling the ASO, and I was watching one of the videos of Adam Little, I think it's pronounced, about how he optimizes the ASO of his applications. And at the end of that video, he said you can send him an email with some analytics and he can give you some sort of information. So I just sent him an email to see what he thought about the app, and he gave me the green light that everything was going well, and I just had to have some patience. He asked me if I was developing another application, and I think that he asked that in the intention of do something else while this one is building up that ASO. But I feel like I need to focus now on the marketing side of things because that's where the majority of the work that I don't want to do is. However, I can't endlessly just keep trying to do this because if I don't really find a good market fit for this product, I might just have to move on, since I only have during this summer to have a lot of free time to code my next application, because once that I'm back at university, it becomes much harder for me to dedicate so much time to side projects. I've been staying away as much as I can from coding, so I haven't been pushing any updates to an application that realistically not too much people are using. I've been trying to get feedback from people, but I haven't been hearing anything from the users that are paying the application or people from the actual database that they have signed up. I tried to send an email to everyone on my database and pretty much no one answered. So there's not really too much that I can get to actual users that are not really converting. I can just make assumptions, but I don't really have any true data. But the things that I did change over the last couple of weeks were that I added a sign up email to my application. So now every time that a new user signs up, independently of if they become a paying user or not, they get a welcome email. And I got this idea from Chris Rarok, I think that's how his last name is pronounced, because he was saying on a podcast how he developed this personal connection with people that are using his applications because they know that it's not a bunch of team or a corporation behind the application that it's building it, it's just him. So he creates that personal connection with the people that are actually his users. Because if you think about it, it's the same principle on why you would prefer to go to a small coffee shop that is independently owned rather than going to Starbucks. So I decided to add that sign up email explaining who I was and why I built LeafVault. Just something very straight to the point. It took me like 3 days, which was way more than I was expecting to, but it was the first time that I was setting up a domain with Cloudflare because I also had to create a custom domain for the application. I understand why Cloudflare is so well respected in the developer community because it was such a smooth experience. I set up Cloudflare for the website and I set up Resend for sending the emails. I redesigned the paywall because it just felt too noisy. My first iteration of the paywall was just something to get it out of the way, and it was just to get the app to the App Store and iterate on the design and keep making it better. I decided to clean it up and make it much more straightforward, especially with the help of my girlfriend that she was helping me out on what does it actually make sense and what it doesn't. And I'm also trying out the weekly payments that Adam was recommending. So I'm launching an experiment on Revenue Cat where some people are going to be shown weekly payments and other people are going to be shown the monthly payments. Let's see if it converts, but right now my main problem is people discovering the application, not conversion per se. As I said previously with the email thing, I had to set up a domain, and for that I also built a website, just a very basic landing page for what Paywall is and what are the features, just something that I can plug in every once in a while. So once that's in development, I'm gonna start putting that in the description so you guys can check it out. But for now, that's pretty much a dead website. You can go check it out, but it's not really the end result of what I wanted to have. I was surprisingly getting quite a lot of visitors, which it feels such a magic thing, because in my head, SEO is still not really a thing, but clearly it is, because I'm clearly mistaken on that and there's a lot of people specializing on that. My next month is just going to be focusing on marketing as much as I can. I'm going to be doing a daily series about what I'm doing to market my application using YouTube Shorts. So if you want to follow along, make sure to subscribe and like this video if you want to keep paying attention to what I'm building. And I see you on the next video. Bye bye.